We have very interesting videos sent in by you all that are going to change our lives forever. Thank you, Mondo, for the video.
So they randomly roll up on a guy in Central Park and he drops the greatest spoken word of all time. Check this out.
It's a good thing that God Almighty has never gone on strike because of unfair treatment or for things he didn't like. Should he ever once sit down and say, that's it, I'm through? I had enough of those on earth, so this is what I'll do. He'll give orders to the sun, cut off the heat supply. And to the moon, give no more light, then run the oceans dry. And just to make things double tough and put the pressure on, he'll cut off the air and oxygen till every breath is gone. For sure, he will be justified if fairness was his game. For no one has been more abused or treated with disdain. But yet, he carries on and on, providing you and me with all the goodness of his grace and everything for free. But people say we want a better deal, and so on strike we go. But what a deal we're giving God, whom everything we own. We don't care who we hurt or harm to gain the things we like. But what a mess we'll all be in if God should go on strike.
Thank you, Alicia, for the video.
Plastic, cardboard boxes, pallets, everything's grounded into this right here.
They send this stuff off to be eaten by the hogs, and then the hogs are killed, and then we eat them. I felt like I had to tell the world.
Y'all believe me now.
Go up the line to that big called the grinder. It grinds it out and turns it into that. And then the hog eats it. This is what it looked like when it's done.
I took the video because I was like, I've never seen nothing like this. This can't be like legal.
Garbage feeding. Of course, Cali. And of course, it was at New York? New York on there?
I told you guys.
Shout out to all my followers, I love you guys. But let's have a little class. As you see the AAFCO, this is the official publication for things that are allowed in animal feed in America. So let's look down here, and what does it say? Plastics, 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 plastics. I told you. Okay, let's look a little more. What does this say?
Thank you, Epic, for the video.
Detroit, Santa Barbara. 10,000 acres of wooded residential land were scorched in an instant when a laser cannon aboard the Strategic Defense Peace Platform misfired today during routine startup tests. Casey?
Yes, it was a day of mourning for the families of...
Thank you, Andy, for the video.
Southeast Missouri. Did something slip everybody's minds? Because I know y'all aren't sitting over here with your own cannibals and nobody told me.
Oh, we haven't forgotten. We just don't want to talk about it. There are certain things in Southeast Missouri that you don't talk about. And this area right here, that area, we don't talk about that at all. And this is coming from somebody with a big freaking loudmouth that likes to talk about the weird, the supernatural, and the unexplained. You would have thought if there was something like what you just said in that area, that I probably would have talked about it, right? You would have thought that. But if you live in this area, you don't talk about that. Let me just paint you a little picture. You're driving down Highway 21 and you decide to make a little turn, make a little right turn onto a back road. Now, just like anything else, a multitude of things can happen on that back road. You could drive down a little bit, realize that you've made a wrong turn, and turn around and leave. And if that's the case, you've picked the right back road. Because the alternative is, you might drive down that back road, find that there's nowhere to turn around, and you just keeps going and going. And then you realize you're way too far in here and you have no idea where you're at or where this road comes out. You don't realize that this road does not come out anywhere else. What comes out is a person, and that person may walk up to your car window and he may say something like, the only kind of people that drive down this road are people that know me or people that are lost. And lady, I have no idea who you are. He might sound like a hillbilly when he says it though. And more than likely, he'll let you turn around. He'll say, hey, drive down past that Jeep, turn around. And you'll say, what Jeep? And he'll point to the big pile of weeds, and that's the weeds that are grown up through the Jeep. So you drive past the weeds Jeep and you turn around and then you start back down the road. That guy might give you a little wave and send you on down the road and you think everything is fine. That was just a weird interaction. But as you're thinking about that little weird encounter, you start seeing people on the side of the road, people that you passed on the way in that you had no idea were there. They might be waving too. So the moral of this story is if you're in this area right here, do not get off of Highway 21. Do not turn down a back road. Do not trust GPS. Don't stop and ask us about this area right here because we're not going to tell you about that area right there. So if you're from Southeast Missouri, there's a list of things that you just don't want to talk about. And Monkey Mountain is pretty darn high on that list. Damn it, man.
My Southeast Missouri people, because like what's over there? Like, because he didn't say nothing. What is it? What is it? I do know this though. I do know that there's a movie called Wrong Turn. Yeah, my Missouri people, I don't need to know. I just would like to know for the people that stay there. Have y'all been there? Is it crazy?
Wouldn't it be crazy if humanity was doomed to repeat history every 80 years? Honestly, I think it's about time we just have this conversation. Shout out to my grandfather and all the other ancestors out there who fought in World War I, World War II. Now, here's the thing. A lot of them have passed. Barely anyone remains from those times, those horrible, horrible, tragic times of loss. And so naturally, right on cue, what do you see? Us falling into the exact same patterns because none of us have lived through that horror and we're about to do it again. In the spirit of true literature, true art, culture, and trying my best to help prevent this from happening, let's read a poem, shall we? First they came for the socialists and I did not speak out because I am not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionist and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the you-know-whos and I did not speak out because I am not a you-know-who. Then they came for me and there was no one left to speak for me.
Thank you, Blue Lion, for the video.
Pork was never made clean and we were never meant to eat it, and I'm going to prove it to you with scripture. In Leviticus chapter 11, God gives us a list of unclean foods and forbids us to eat them. Among these foods is swine, shellfish, rats, and more disgusting things. He gave us this list to help us because these foods are full of parasites. Check out this video of this guy dissecting a pepperoni under a microscope.
Okay, he decided to investigate and cut a little pig fat and put it under the microscope. Watch this under the microscope. He pinched a little piglet fat. Oh no. What's that? It looks like a worm of some sort.
If that wasn't disgusting enough for you to stop eating pork and unclean foods, I'm going to bring up Acts chapter 10. Now in Acts chapter 10, Peter gets a vision from the Most High Yah.
Right.
And the Most High tells Peter, kill and eat these unclean animals. And Peter says, no, I've never eaten anything unclean because I follow the law. And if you keep reading, you'll understand that this vision happened 3 times to Peter, which stands for the 3 men who came to Peter's door. And if you keep reading, you'll understand that that entire vision was not symbolic over making pork and unclean foods clean, but of making Gentiles clean.
That's it.
There's a reason God himself says that he will send many people away from him, saying, depart.
This mold is springing up this fast, but what you're finding is all over the UK, all over Canada, all over the United States.
Me off.
And so when I realized, when the Lord opened my eyes and let me realize, and that there is an association with the fog and the moisture, we are being doused with moisture that's now producing mold. But this is what I want to let you know. So I was wondering, okay, this mold is springing up fast,
just look at this
but
part.
what you're finding—
Why are you coughing all on the camera? Look.
Is all over the UK, all over Canada.
Anywho, I heard what she said loud and clear. That made me mad. I'm not gonna lie.
If you got time, watch this.
What's behind pornography is the demon of fornication. This is a very particular demon. He's violent. He's absolutely violent. He communicates through his influence to men that they can't do this, they can't live without it. He smashes them on the head every time they try to resist him. And the witness of the church is the demons are defeated.
If Satan fell from heaven and 1/3 of the angels fell with him, why did God not just lock him up right then? Why is he waiting? Why does he get dominion over this world?
We could just as easily ask, why doesn't he lock us all up right now? In fact, let me ask you guys a question. If God were to stop evil at midnight tonight, would you still be alive at 12:01?
Ooh.
No, I wouldn't be. None of us would be. God allows evil knowing he can redeem it. If God didn't allow us free will, which gives us the ability to do evil, but also the ability to love, if God doesn't allow free will, then we don't have a moral universe. And God can't redeem anything that's gone wrong. He didn't want to create robots. That's a completely different kind of being than a free will creature who can choose to love or disobey. So God gives us the ability to love, but also disobey, and he knows he can redeem it. He knows he can buy it back. He knows he can rescue the situation for people that want to be rescued. For those that don't want to be rescued, they don't have to be rescued. God will separate himself from them, and that's what hell is. It's separation from God. So God gives us the ability to do what we want to do, and he also comes into this universe.
Thank you, Hector, for the video.
Does it frustrate anybody else that we're not allowed to talk about what's really going on in our world? We're not allowed to talk about what's actually unfolding behind closed doors. We can't talk about Maui. We can't talk about North Carolina, and soon we won't be able to talk about LA. We're not supposed to know about the flood insurance that was canceled before North Carolina. And we're not supposed to know about the fire insurance that was canceled before LA.
Well,
we can't talk about the color blue. And we definitely can't talk about the cities that are coming. We are not allowed to talk about what is really going on in our world. We can't talk about the shipping containers. We can't talk about why celebrities always look so young. We can't talk about what happens in the tunnels, and we definitely can't talk about what happens every single day beneath our feet. We can't talk about what is really going on in our world. Our world is not as it seems. Everybody that you see, that you look up to, our politicians, our celebrities, Hollywood, is not as it seems. Evil is running this world. And it is soon coming to a head, and Satan will step out onto center stage. The beast system is getting set up right in front of our eyes, and we are not allowed to talk about it.
Thank you, Parallel, for the videos. Big old drone.
This weighs less than a motorcycle, and I'm about to fly it. In the middle, you got an iPad with augmented reality to show you where the digital fences are so you don't drive too far. This is your joystick. If you want to climb, pull that up like this. Descend. If you want to slide right, like that.
This
slide
is not
left,
no video
go
game.
forward, backwards. And back here is how you rotate it.
Is driving that bad? I just want to know, like, what is this flying car stuff where people are so infatuated with? Like, I know it was the robots, you know, AI, but I feel like the new infatuation of this year is these flying cars. What is this gonna do for y'all? Some of y'all, let me not say y'all, some people can't even drive as it is. You think I'm gonna trust them in the air? And then for him to lift that up, I'm not getting in something that I can lift up. And then he was saying the buttons were giving. Remember that submarine that was being operated from a PlayStation 4 remote controller? So we just don't learn our lesson, huh? I'm not getting in that. I'm not.
There is a type of person you should never help. Listen to this story and you'll understand what kind of person that is. Once a scorpion wanted to cross a river. It approached a kind frog and asked for help. The frog said, "Your tail has venom. What if you sting me? What will I do then?" The scorpion replied, "Don't worry. If I harm you, I'll sink to the bottom of the river too." The frog thought this made sense and agreed to carry the scorpion across the river. But as they swam to the middle of the river, the frog felt a sharp pain in its back. Turning around, it saw that the scorpion had stung it. As they both began to sink, the frog asked, "You knew this would lead to both of us dying. Why did you still sting me?" The scorpion responded, "I didn't want to, but I couldn't control myself." In the end, they both drowned. This story teaches us to avoid people with bad habits and not to trust their promises.
Ooh.
Otherwise, your kindness won't just bring discomfort, it could also put your life in danger. Never help those who can harm you.
Shalom, I pray you're all doing well. Before we get into the rest of the video, I want to take a moment to thank each and every single one of you for your continued love and support. To show my gratitude, I'm excited to announce our monthly appreciation giveaway. Each month, I'll be randomly selecting some of you to receive a special thank you gift. Here's how you can join in. Simply comment as you normally would below this video and just add your Cash App name at the end of your comment. Winners will be chosen randomly so everyone has an equal chance to win. I'm incredibly excited to give back to this amazing community that has supported me so generously and that Yahuwah and Yahusha has blessed me with. Thank you once again for everything. Your support means the world to me, and I can't wait to see who our first blessed winners will be. Stay tuned for more updates and surprises on this channel. Now back to the rest of the video. Thank you, Mike, for the video.
The UK recently completed a carbon credit system trial that sets a daily allowance for each person, a literal cap on your ability to travel, purchase food, clothing, and even heat your home, all rationed under the guise of saving the planet. Your daily carbon limit is capped at 40 kilograms of CO2, with food restricted to just 4 kilograms. So how does this translate to actual food? Well, according to the report, a packet of cheese accounts for 1.1 kilograms of CO2, over 25% of your daily allowance. Red meat? Forget it. If you spent your entire 4 kg allowance on steak, you'd get around 8 ounces of meat. While meat and dairy products have the highest carbon footprints, 2 slices of bread would account for just 3%, while a can of Coke just 4%. So basically, diabetes is on the menu. But don't worry, Big Pharma will have you covered, because medications and healthcare products will not be factored into your daily carbon limit. But here's where things get terrifying. They're not just suggesting it, they're testing it. Food manufacturers are already slapping carbon labels on their products. And let's not forget the food supply chain either. These policies directly threaten local farmers and producers as red meat gets penalized heavily, while synthetic lab-grown meat is being propped up as a solution. The fashion industry contributes approximately 10% of global carbon emissions, with much of the impact coming from production and transportation, which is now your problem. A single cotton t-shirt will cost you 2.1 kilograms of CO2. Synthetics will cost you much more, and if you like leather, just buy it now. But you can save those carbon credits by purchasing used clothes. So, how about travel? The average person burns through 2.3 kg per day going about their daily lives. However, if you ever see yourself going on vacation again, you're going to want to start biking or walking to work, because a typical round trip via airplane from London to New York emits approximately 1,600 kilograms of CO2 per person, equating to 80 days of your total carbon allowance under the PCA guidelines. Heating accounts for a significant share of household emissions, especially in colder climates, with the average household burning through 6 kg of CO2 per day. The recommended solution? Be cold. or fork over a bunch of money to install renewable energy sources in your home. There's also an allowance for leisure and entertainment. Streaming services, gaming, or internet usage at home or on your phone relies on data centers powered by electricity. So, that will cost you. Going to a concert or a ball game? Well, that involves travel, lighting, and heating or cooling. Boom, pay the toll. You like gardening, DIY projects, or recreational sports? Those all involve resource consumption, and there's no free lunch in the credit carbon world. Now, you might be thinking, surely this is just a trial. Wrong. This isn't just being tested, it's being planned. In the UK white paper, they openly admit that their goal is to encourage behavior towards implementing this system. They're normalizing the idea that your lifestyle is subject to bureaucratic quotas handed down by governments that live in luxury while telling you to eat less meat. Surprisingly, here's where it gets dystopian. The system isn't about reducing emissions where it matters. The report itself acknowledges that 70% of carbon emissions come from sectors beyond individual control, including industry, exports, and military operations. But instead of tackling those, they're coming after you. You see, this isn't about reducing carbon, it's about reducing you.
Right.
Restricting how far you can travel, what you can eat, and all.
I was about to ask, I want to know why, but it's about control. It's always about control. So when he was talking, it kind of reminded me of a movie I watched with my mom. Y'all know us. We're always watching something. Let me get the movie for y'all. If y'all know I was going to this, y'all some real ones. But if you didn't, I'm about to put you on. I would play the trailer, but the way YouTube set up, sometimes it gets copyrighted. So I don't want to sit here and react to a video, then I got to delete the video because of copyright. But this movie right here, if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. I do. I'm telling you, like, it's a great movie. But it's called In Time, and it's with Justin Timberlake and Amanda Say. I actually don't know how to say her last name. Now I'm about to butcher. I'm not even about to do that to myself. So with this movie is about how your time on earth is literally dictated by the amount of money that you have. So your money is time and your time is money. So when he was talking this carbon footprint and, you know, it costs this for this, and this, this movie is perfect if you want to watch it. And again, I always bring out movies because they put this stuff in movies. And they'll do that so that when you say, man, that was in that movie, they'll be like, you're referencing a movie? Yeah, are you crazy? I'm referencing a movie because they put the truth in movie, just like they put the truth in cartoon, just like they put the truth in The Simpsons. Yeah, this movie was just about, like, it's futuristic, but it's about how time is money and basically the wealthy can live forever. Don't that sound like now? Go watch the movie. And then for those that seen it, comment down below and let me know. Y'all know, when he was talking, did that pop up in you guys' ear too? Or if there's another movie recommendation for us to watch, comment down below because we will love to add that to our list of movies to watch. Thank you, Scoop, for the video.
Why you should read the biographies of people that you admire, because what you will notice is that every person that is moved into greatness goes through this period of isolation.
Ooh.
This is why you should also be suspicious of who the system gives you to follow as being popular, because if people who are popular are never isolated, right? They're kept in the public eye, they're kept up front, they're kept tap dancing so that they never, you always give the monkey a banana and something to play with so that they never have the time to reflect on, what am I doing?
No, that's powerful on what he said, because if you really think about it, so if you notice, this is why, like, with some of the successful people that we see publicly, yeah, we see the public success, but we also witness them privately falling apart. Does that make sense of what I'm saying? Because I can name, like, for example, Robin Williams. I think he was very successful publicly, but then we also didn't see him, you know, doing what he did, but that's because of the privately falling apart that was happening, which is just the behind the scenes of what the public didn't see.
Feedback on following Usher.
He didn't just unfollow Usher, he also unfollowed his father-in-law.
And the best man at his wedding and one of his security guards, right? He got busy.
He's finally popping out of the fog.
He didn't unfollow Diddy yet, which I find, there's got to be a message in that, right? I mean, he unfollows all these people, but doesn't unfollow Diddy. I don't know what that means, but that's weird.
Well, I'm sure that was a PR move, because the second that he does unfollow Diddy, everyone's going to be waiting for his victim statement to come out.
That's true.
He's not going to unfollow Diddy until he's brave enough to come forward. But I think right now he's looking all around him. And I hope he's questioning that marriage.
She looks just
because for a
like
father-in-law to brag about introducing his adolescent daughter to a teeny bopper pop star and then saying, I let Justin Bieber marry my daughter. Your daughter's a model who was running around with Bella Hadid and the other girls. I know what your daughter was doing before she married Justin Bieber. You didn't do Justin Bieber a favor. You did your daughter a favor. Because you knew exactly where she was heading for. And from what I heard, she was in a shipping container or two. In Dubai, allegedly. She marries Justin. You come in management. Y'all live happily ever after on all the money that he made and all the suffering that he did. And you keep going back to the elites, handling him for them. They ain't nothing but Illuminati babysitters. Got that baby pushed out fast, too. Look at Cardi B. Look at her life. It's a mess. And I told her, don't keep having babies by that fool. Because they're going to use those kids to trap you up. And even if Justin does wake all the way up and leaves his wife, she got that baby. And a baby, it's the best kind of liquid handcuffs you can put on somebody.
Wow.
You're
More
hooked.
importantly than that, they like hanging with the people that like hurting kids.
Liquid handcuffs.
You want your child raised by them?
Jay, I don't know if I shouted you out, but thank you, Jay, for the couple of videos I have been showing.
If God created us, why would he send us to hell? Before God started creating, we had primordial chaos. Things had no order, no light, no creation as we know it. So God comes along and starts creating things that are light. So he starts to order the chaos and separate the good from the bad. I think of it like he built a mansion with a guest house. In the beginning, we got to hang out in God's mansion, but because we have free will, we messed up. He loves us, so he didn't want to cast us into this primordial chaos. So he sticks us in the guest house. The guest house is kind of like a two-way mirror. He can see into it to see how we're doing, if we're recognizing that he's there and that he loves us, but we cannot see out of it. Over time, he saw that we were not doing too good when we were down here by ourselves. We were not proving ourselves to be the type of being that fits into God's mansion or his kingdom. So he comes to straighten us out as Jesus. Jesus dying to cover our sins makes it so that we don't have to go out here, even though we're highly affected by this primordial darkness, because we are closer to it and we are a fallen being. He wants us to come up here, but we need to refine ourselves to be able to be up here. If you built your own mansion by hand and made it as grand as possible, and you built a slightly scaled down but beautiful guest house, and you allowed someone to stay in your guest house for free, gave them every opportunity to be able to eventually live in your mansion, but they spent all their time saying that they didn't live for free in your guest house. They punched holes in your guest house. They denied that you built the guest house or the mansion, and you yourself walked into the guest house and was like, hey, I understand you're having a hard time, but I did build this guest house. If you could just stop punching holes in it, all you have to do is just look at what I'm doing and try to copy me. Have faith that I'm leading you the right way, and you'll eventually get to leave the guest house and come up with me into the mansion. Powerful. But no matter how simple you make it, your guest continuously punches holes in your wall. They continuously say that you didn't build the house, etc. So on Judgment Day, God says, they didn't like my creations. They believe that I didn't build them, that I don't love them. They punched holes in my walls every single day, broke my windows, broke all of my furniture, even though I let them live there for free and refused to listen to anything that I was trying to help them with. Then it seems as if they just don't love me. They don't love my creations. They're not grateful. So they don't have to be a part of my creations. I won't force them to exist in my creation. And I think the book Dante's Inferno really did a disservice to Christianity because it painted this picture of hell when all hell is a separation from God. So if you go to hell, you just go out into this primordial chaos because he created light. He tried to help us to stay out of this. And no matter what help he gave us, we could not follow the rules of the guest house. And all the rule was to believe that he came down to help us and that he loves us and to love each other. This is also a great analogy of what it means to be fallen. So I picture it as when God separated the good from the evil, he kind of pushed the primordial darkness down to keep it out of heaven. Because he created heaven first, there's a more distinct separation from the primordial chaos. But because Adam and Eve didn't listen and they no longer aligned with what was existing in God's kingdom, he had to basically put us on probation. But by doing this, it made us much more susceptible to the darkness, which is why our flesh makes it difficult to not sin. And it's also why we have bad things that happen in the world. God is sovereign. He can step in and adjust things as needed, but we do have free will. Everything and everybody does. He has to allow for that in order for love to exist. So over time, the darkness kind of seeps in a little bit as we sin more and more, which is why we look something like this now, because sin and Jesus being our savior was all a system to not have this happen. It was never meant as a straitjacket. It was meant to give us the best life possible.
All lies will be exposed.
Singers when they sing songs, it's like a mantra. Then you start to hear it in the opposite subconscious mind. So you start to become the song, become what you're saying.
Satanism is Satanism.
Yep. Our Shabbat was changed, y'all. From Saturday to Sunday. I had just wanted to bring this up because they posted it, so I wanted to talk about it. But here I have a list of these languages, so different languages that are all saying Saturday in their language, just to show and to prove to you that Shabbat is the day of Saturday. It's not Sunday. So our Shabbat is Saturday and it's not Sunday. You know how everyone goes to church on Sunday? Shabbat and Sabbath, same thing, saying in a different way, but it's Saturday. And all these names are how you say Saturday in their languages prove that Saturday is the Shabbat rest. I'm only showing y'all this because I know this woke me up when I was first being woken up by Yahuwah, but I was like, I can't sit here and deny this. Thank you, Pinky, for the video.
And here's that shift that I've been telling you guys about, all right? We know there's a huge shift going on the planet when Florida, who is known for its sun, Sunshine State, and Pensacola, one of the most renowned beaches in the world, and it has more snow than Juneau, Alaska. This is supposed to be wintertime, isn't it, right? So it's January 2025, and there is no snow in Alaska. You see no ice on the caps whatsoever. If I didn't know better, this looks like a regular day in Florida over here. If I didn't know better, Juneau, Alaska looks like another day at a lake in Florida. And then this over here looks just like Alaska. Now, last year I did a video showing you guys Alaska still didn't have any snow on its caps around November. So I don't know if the caps melted or if there is still no ice on the caps. But this is concerning. And I was doing some research, and apparently the ice in Antarctica is melting at 50,000 gallons per second. Yes, 50,000 gallons.
A new study finds the ice there is melting faster these days. Researchers say a group of glaciers in Juneau are shrinking 5 times faster than they were just back in the 1980s. They say climate change is to blame, so it's melting so fast. 50,000 gallons of ice turns into water every second.
So yes, y'all, we are in this shift, and the only way to make it through is to go through the shift, just like the shift is going through us. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. Let's continue to get this shift.
Yo, has anybody else noticed that in this recent speech, like the coat of arms behind Trump, where usually like the head of the eagle is facing towards the olive branch whilst having these arrows, which means that it's capable of peace and war, but it's going to look more towards peace. The eagle in this coat of arms is looking towards the arrows, towards war.
Roland Martin said that the FBI and CIA allegedly got videos of Martin Luther King that would damage his legacy. Y'all, take a look at what he said.
Let me explain to y'all what's about to happen.
What's about to happen?
The FBI so-called recordings of Dr. King were set to be released. Those will now be released. FBI, who I simply do not believe, claims that they have recordings of Dr. King having affairs, involved in. They claim that he was with a white prostitute in Las Vegas. So Charlie Kirk, he did all his videos trashing King. Oh, we shouldn't be celebrating him. Let me explain to you why they doing this here.
Why?
They are going to try to completely destroy the legacy of Dr. King.
Now, y'all heard what he said. All of this is alleged. But let's say hypothetically that this do come out and there is proof of this. That's not going to tarnish this man's legacy. We all know what he did for us. So videos of him performing in orgies or with a prosti. So
I thought that was old news. I thought like we heard that before when it came to Martin Luther King. I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. I could have swore that's old news or that we've been, new stuff like that. I have no commentary on that. I just want to say that this is the end of this video. I wanted to just shout out everyone that sent in videos. I know Jay was the last one that was sending in all those videos, so I appreciate it. Thank you for all that have been joining the Discord to send me your videos again. I know I'm gonna have some people. How do I get my videos sent over to you so that you can react to them? All you have to do is add the Discord. The link is in the description down below, because that's honestly the best way to get your video sent over to me so I can see it and I can react to it and put it on the channel. So thank you in advance for those that are in the Discord that have been dropping videos, and thank you to the ones that are just now about to join the Discord. Welcome to the community. I'm not even gonna say too much because I would rather my Discord speak louder than my words. So that's all. I know y'all see the merch. I have on my Super Faith. This is one of many that I have. No, the shirt don't come see-through. The shirt is not invisible. The shirt is just green, and anything green, it just blends in with the screen. But I'm just letting y'all know that now. The T and the E will be green on you guys's, and it's just invisible on mine. But y'all shop the merch, shop Perkyy.com. Link is also in the description down below. All I ask, I don't ask for too much. I don't. If you happen to buy some merch, may you please take a picture and tag me in it so that I can feature you on the website. That's all I ask. And if you don't believe me, go on my website and see all the people that did it. And I thank you in advance because I've been getting a lot of orders, but I haven't been getting a lot of tags. What's going on with that? The math isn't mathing. No, I appreciate you guys. I really do. I don't know if y'all shy, but take some pictures and tag me so I can post you on the website. We are on the road to 900,000 people. When I tell you, that's crazy. Like, I laugh every time I say it because it's like, I know it's Yahuwah and Yahusha is what I'm trying to say, because I never would have imagined, but you know, you can imagine something, Yahuwah can take you to a whole nother route. So hallelujah. But I got to give all esteem, all kabod, and all honor to my Saba Yahuwah, Lua, and my Abba, my Adoni, Yahusha HaMashiach for blessing me with everything. Because at the end of the day, I'm just a vessel that they work in and through. So I have to give credit and honor where it is due. But some very, very, very great, interesting, informative videos today. I appreciate y'all. Y'all keep dropping the videos in the chat for me to react to them, for us to talk through them, and what, you know, whatever Yahuwah drops. I know lately I just been reacting. I ain't really been saying too much. That's because I'm trying to get these videos out because I'm behind. So please forgive me, but the commentary will come back soon. You know, if Yahuwah want me to speak, then he'll allow me to speak. And if he don't, then he don't. But hallelujah. But y'all, I'm going to react to some more videos. So let me go ahead and end this one. But y'all have a blessed one. I'll see you on the next one. Shalom, shalom.
You can't bring me down. I know who I belong to. Yeah. What? I won't sell my soul.